What message do you have for this young chef? So in the beginning, they get very excited, but once they are in the field, they start to feel a pressure, or they say they cannot make it.
Not everybody treats you the same, not everybody works you the same, but it's an experience that you've had. Okay, you move on from that experience, then you go to another establishment and see what the experience is. I can see the passion in people. I always talk about it. I look you in the eye and I can see the passion.
Now, it's very difficult for a one chef to balance the personal and professional life. We say white jacket chef. We start in the morning, we finish late night.
Competitions are a learning ground. When I was in the Olympic team, 1 year's training was like 4 years' work.
Now, if tomorrow someone wants to be a Ricky Stephen of future, what he has to do? Chef, thank you very much for visiting us. It's a pleasure to have you. Now, I want to go as a chef to chef. Now, if tomorrow someone wants to be a Ricky Stephen of future, what he has to do?
First of all, you have to work hard. And when I was an apprentice, my chef used to say, you work for me for 8 hours, and then if you want to learn something, you stay here. If you want to go home, go home. So you have to have the passion to want to work, you want to learn, want to know things. And then you want to know how to improve those things, or you want to get faster. Like one day, for me, the chef would say to me, okay then, you peel that box of tomatoes. We used to preserve all our own tomatoes, so we had to peel them all. We peel them, and then they say, today you take one box and it takes you 30 minutes. Tomorrow you do one box, take 25 minutes. It's a little bit like our chicken, we talk about it today. Okay, I can bone the chicken out in 30 seconds. And how did I do that? Because I wanted to go faster. Faster because I wanted to go home and go to football training, but it's about the passion to want to do it faster and do it better. I don't want to run in the kitchen. I just want my hands to work faster and my brain to be working.
Chef, I talk to a lot of young chefs in different countries, especially in Pakistan. Also, I talk to a lot of young chefs. Now, after they finish their educations, their graduations, and also their culinary certifications, when they finish, they come in the market, they are a bit confused with the AI, with the classic cuisine, with the modern cuisine, what molecular cuisine, what molecular gastronomy is all about, what they have to do, because they are inspired with the Insta picture, half broken plates, food. Like they have a lot of confusions in their mind what is happening. So most of the students, they ask me the question like, chef, we want to be a chef, we have to be a chef of future of gastronomy or molecular gastronomy, or we want to be a Michelin star chef, or I don't know, it's a little bit confusion. It's like what basically, or simple, I will say, the message you want to give to the young chef when they finish their study and they have a first step in the industry.
Well, the first thing they must understand, you must know the basics. You must know when you put flour and butter together and cook and make a roux, and when you put milk or you put stock with it, how it's going to happen and how long it takes to cook. Because you can put it together and you think it's cooked in 5 minutes, but because you make a roux, it's going to take 20 minutes to cook. You must have these things in the back of your mind. And this is what they need to understand is, first of all, you find out what direction you want to be, and then that's what you target. If you want to be the best chef, but you want to be the best chef of what? Italian food, Western food, Pakistani food? What's your target? Don't get confused. People start to put this with this and this, and then it becomes confusion, not fusion. And they must have a clear direction. Yes, when you work in a different establishment, you follow the rules of that restaurant. But when you become the chef yourself, you know after years of experience, this is the direction. When I was a young chef, one guy would tell me to make the pâté choux, make the choux pastry this way. And then when I went on to another place, they said, no, we want you to make it this way. And go to another place, they want you to make it this way. When I become the chef, I say, this is the best way. This is number one is the best one. So that's how we're going to make it. And so you got to have the experience. And the experience just doesn't come from working within. You got to work outside the box sometimes. And that may mean you may have to leave your country to do a little bit of research or do some work. And research is when you go to a like not so long ago, I went to Paris. So my research was French onion soup. I went to 6 restaurants to see who make the best French onion soup. And I wanted to know why. And that's what my research was. And that's something that's about passion of knowing your ingredients. But the passion is respecting your ingredients, respecting that farmer who went and dug up that dirt, or that one who looked after the cows or looked after the sheep. or looked after the ducks, or the fisherman who's out in that rough seas catching all that fish. The respect is with that there. Once you start to respect the food and respect the people who give it to you, then you're on the right track.
So basically, what you are saying, do whatever you want to do in your future, but it's a start with the basic.
Basics are
let's-
important.
Let's get the basic knowledge, informations about the ingredients, informations about your region, where you have to cook, what you have to cook, get a best mentorship, understand and all, and do whatever you want to do in future. But let's start from which is very important.
And I'll give you an example. Okay, you're cooking chicken. Where did chicken come from? I mean, what region did that chicken come from? Why is that the best chicken? Because the grass is better, or the grain is better, or the farmer is better. You need to know that. You tell me put lamb on the menu. Where's the lamb from? Even if the lamb was from Australia or from the USA, whereabouts? Why did you pick that lamb? So they need to understand a little bit more about the ingredients, because when they start to engage with the guests, they say, okay, we took this fish because it's the freshest fish in this region. And I know the fisherman who catches it, so we go there and he brings it to us. And that's why we use these ingredients. And if you cook the best ingredients, you get the best results. We talked a little bit about the Japanese in some of the seminars, how they take it from the sea and virtually cut it raw and put it on a plate, and they get a Michelin star. Why? Because they don't do things to the food. They just leave it naturally. And this is what is an understanding of your product and your produce.
Chef, I don't think so. Anyone can explain in a details what competition is all about. And I know how many competitions you did it. Now, tell me why it's very important for a chef to learn and to do more competitions and travel for competitions.
Okay, competitions are a learning ground. When I was in the Olympic team, 1 year's training was like 4 years' work. Because you're in a group of 6 or 8 or 10 people and you're creating a dish, but you're not creating, you're perfecting it. And these things, like in a restaurant, you say, okay, then I'll put a pinch of this and a pinch of that in. Oh, yeah, it tastes very similar. But when you're in the Olympics, it's got to taste perfect all the time. And so when you're creating dishes, you're training all the time. You're developing dishes. You're developing your mind. You're taking ideas from your colleagues. You're taking ideas off the other competitors. And then that's enhancing your own repertoire. And then you will actually learn to cook better by training so hard. And later on, you find life to be much easier in the kitchen.
Chef, I'm chef, also running good organizations as an executive chef. For me, it's my personal question also, and I want to get this answer for several chefs, or I'll say the millions of chefs. Now, it's very difficult for one chef to balance the personal and professional life. We say white jacket chef, we start in the morning, we finish late night. Saturday, Sunday, forget about it. On holidays, people, they need to be in the hotels. We have to be at work, right? So it's very difficult for one chef to balance it out, a personal life. There is a lot of hustle, a lot of irritations, tensions, a lot of, like a lot of things happening in the kitchen. Now, what advice do you have? And because you were handling some of the best, bigger, fantastic kitchens by numbers, by efficiency, it was the biggest operations you were running in Asia. Now, what advice do you have to balance it out, the personal and the professional life for chefs?
Okay, it's a great question, actually. And the way I used to do it is I have a switch to turn on and a switch to turn off. I go to work, I turn the switch on. I'm concentrating on work. I'm not concentrating on what happened at the family, because now I'm at work. My wife knows I'm at work. And then when I finish work, I switch off and go home, and then I concentrate on the family. I don't do work at home unless it's competition. And so I don't answer emails on my phone. I don't answer WhatsApp on my phone if it's work. I always say to people, if it's that important, you call me. You call me. I don't want to be on the computer all the time or on the phone all the time answering stuff about work. I'm at work for 12 hours a day. Why should I extend that? And I tell my bosses that as well. You want me? I'm in the kitchen at 6 a.m. Come and see me. So what I'm trying to say is I have a balance in the life. I have a work life, I'm going to give you 12 hours. I have a home life, I'm going to have 12 hours. That's my balance in life. And then don't bring my work home. Don't take my home to work.
Amazing. Chef, I was a part of you since last 3 days. You were a part of them since last 3 days, and we worked together. Now, you saw in first class and then the second class and in the today's seminar, you saw a different kind of students, some professional chefs, and you saw a lot of people from industry in Pakistan. And then you visited already some of the restaurants, some of the club. What is happening? Now, tell me what is your feeling? What do you think about it? What is happening?
Well, I can see the passion in people. I always talk about it. I look you in the eye and I can see the passion. If I see it looks like dull, I don't have to spend a lot of time with you because I know you're not comprehending what I'm trying to tell you. But when somebody asks me a question, I can see they're thinking about it. Like today, the young pastry girl asked me a lot of questions. I loved it. Yes, we make her have a little bit of fun, but we love it because she has the courage to get up and talk, because she has the courage to get up and ask something because someone else doesn't have that courage. And what I'd like to say is I see the passion in the people just by their enthusiasm, how much they want to participate, how much they want to find out. And when we're doing exercises, who's participating and who's not. So you see the passion in the people, then that gives me passion. It makes it more fun for me, and then I make it more fun for them.
Chef, is education important for a chef to become a good chef? Is education has something to do? Because in a lot of countries, the people, they believe you have experience, you are a good chef. I'm cooking since last 20 years. I'm a good chef. I have a lot of experience. Now, but in new generations, in new era, like people, they say without education certifications, you cannot be a good chef or be a chef. What is your take? What do you think about it?
Education is important, don't get me wrong. But sometimes we have overeducated people. Overeducated people in the kitchen think too much. They don't act too much. And so, but the most important thing you must have is two things I always say you must have: respect and integrity.
Respect.
So respect, whether it be for the food, respect for your fellow workers, respect for the customer. Integrity. Integrity is the important part of the kitchen. You know, you have the integrity where you respect that chef and you don't talk about that chef behind their back. You talk to them to the face. And so they're the two things. So education is important, yes, but education in the kitchen, what's you're going to talk better, or you're going to have better maths, or what's it going to be? So these are the things you've got to understand. You've got to be able to create good teamwork, have the team back you, support you, and then you've got to give back to the team. How hard is it to say, good job today, guys? How hard is it? And a lot of people don't do that. And a lot of people, when they muck up, yes, you can tell them off, but then you go and say goodbye to them at the end of the day.
Chef, I can say, because I know that part, you are a real face of the world chef. And you're traveling, inspiring millions of chefs around the world. I think 15 days in a month you are in aircraft, you are in another country. Now, what world chef basically wants to do with the chefs around the world? What is their vision?
What we want to do is, we talk about education, but the education, we're talking about culinary education. We want to lift all the standards up, because the future of our industry is the youth. Yes, us old guys still there to help wherever we can, but the future of the industry is the youth. The future of any cuisine of that country is the youth, what the youth are going to come through. It doesn't matter if here in Pakistan you have millions of tourists coming in if you don't have anybody to cook for them. And you need to be able to create that opportunity and make sure that the young chefs have been trained efficiently and proficiently to cover all these tourists that are coming in, or just to cover the local cuisine type of thing. So it's a little bit about, you got to make sure that you're looking after the youth in the world. That's what World Chef are doing through education, podcast training, and lots of other things that they do. World Chef Without Borders and all that type of stuff, and the heritage cuisine, which you yourself are passionate about, heritage cuisine, the heritage cuisine with the food and all that. It's important that we maintain our roots in our own countries as well.
You're a part of a lot of associations, you know a lot of presidents, you travel in a lot of countries, and I saw you have several discussions with the president of the Pakistan Chef Association, Mr. Ahmed Shafiq. Now, what do you think? Are we, or are the chef associations of Pakistan is on the right direction?
I think anybody who's on the direction where you're looking after the chefs, don't matter if they're old chefs or young chefs, everybody's in the right direction if you're heading that way. If you're in it for yourself, I tell you to get out. You know, I just say, we don't need you, to be honest with you. You can be the president of whatever country you are, but if you're not doing anything for your chefs, why are you there? Is it just for a title, or just say you can say I'm the president? No, it doesn't work like that. So what I say is that you should be there to support the people. And like the president here does, he supports his team. And when I say his team, all the young chefs, all the people that surround him.
Chef, I want to get the message right from you, the senior chef in the industry, what they have to do for the young chefs, what they have to do for the students.
I think they've got to be like mentors. And a mentor doesn't mean you have to be with them all the time. You could be a phone call away. You could be an email away. You could be a Zoom call away or FaceTime or whatever you call it with the young chef, because they're so much into IT. And that's what you need to be able to be available. But give them what you think are the right directions. Help them in the directions, and don't say, do this, do this. Suggest it to them. Take these steps. Maybe look at this angle. Look at the whole picture. Don't have blinkers on. Have a wide vision of what you want to do.
And this is, I will say, my last questions to you. Sometimes I talk to some of the students, and sometimes they get a, let's say, from one or two places a little bit disappointed. So they say, no, they're going to change the field, or they're going to go somewhere else, and I think it's very tough, cannot do a tough job and all this. What message do you have for this young chef? So in the beginning, they get very excited, but once they are in the field, they start to feel a pressure, or they say they cannot make it. And
we could make it simple and say, toughen up. We could say that there, but no, we got to educate them. You got to say, guys, it's a learning curve. Not everybody treats you the same. Not everybody works you the same. But it's an experience that you've had. Okay, you move on from that experience, and then you go to another establishment and see what the experience is. Don't judge all the books by one cover. You got to have a look at it, what's internal part of it, the internal structure, who you go to work for. Set them an objective. I want to work in this restaurant because I understand it's the best restaurant, the best chef. Set them an objective to go there. Bug the people. I want to come and work for you. And if you get no answer, go back again 2 weeks later. I want to come and work for you. Show some enthusiasm where you want to go, where you want to take your career. And then your career is not 6 hours a day. In the beginning, you're doing 10 hours a day at least. And then they're the stepping stones. And later on, as you get more professional or more prolific, you're getting better at what you're doing, then you're going to cut back to your 7, 8 hours a day. And then it's come down to life structure.
Chef, I want to say thank you very much. So, because as I said it earlier, I was a part of you. I'm still part of you. Since last 3 days, what I saw, I will say, it is beyond what I was thinking. You are on the floor. You are with the people. You are inspiring to a lot of students, chef. You're talking to the people. And I think that's what the White Jacket is all about. What I saw in last 3 days, a real face of World Chef, a real representations of the White Jacket. And I think I will call is a transfer of emotions by food. And that's what the chef is doing. So thank you very much for visiting us. It was a pleasure to have you, and see you soon somewhere, chef.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and tell the young kids, cook from the heart.
Thank you, chef.
Thank you.